and welcome back to another episode of Key Factors Podcast Real Estate AF, where the AF stands for And Finance, and I'm your host, Mark Jones, and we are powered by LoanBot, the smarter mortgage matching app, now available on the App Store and Google Play. And the past couple of discussions, we kicked around the idea of hard money. We talked about builders. We talked about builder incentives. We spoke with some brokers to get their opinion on that concept. And now I want to kind of slow it down a little bit and bring in a guest that I think you guys should hear his story. I definitely want to learn more from him. You may know him from the, correct me, it is TM3.
Yep.
Nailed it. Okay.
Yep. TM3 Impact.
TM3 Impact. So without further ado, Tomas.
Yes.
How you doing?
Man, blessed.
Yes.
Blessed and highly favored. I'm excited.
I like that.
This studio is legit. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to be on a podcast.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. I saw your episode recently last week with the Garcias.
Yes.
Fantastic discussion.
Yes.
I loved hearing more about them. My brother went to school with them, so I get to hear bits and pieces here and there. But that was a good conversation.
It was. It was.
And like I like to start every episode, similar to the way you do.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
Yeah.
But instead of Cliff Notes, I want to know the whole thing, man.
The whole thing.
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah. So Tomas Martinez, born in Georgia.
Okay.
In Fort Benning, Georgia. My parents were military. They met in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay.
And they met there, and it was awesome. The next thing you know, we are on our way to Hawaii, where my sister was born.
Wow.
So moved to Hawaii. Again, parents both in the military. And then from Hawaii, my sister's born, we go to San Antonio, Texas. Which is why most people end up here. It's because of military.
It wasn't for the weather.
Yeah, it wasn't for the weather. No. It was for the military. And, we end up in San Antonio, and I loved it. I remember as a young kid growing up, I grew up over in the Glen. I don't know if you're familiar with the Glen.
Oh, yeah.
So right there by Roosevelt High School, Montgomery Elementary is where I went to elementary school.
AKA the hood.
Yes, this was definitely the hood. This was definitely an interesting, time frame. But I'm going to tell you, it was one of the most fun time frames to grow up there because we were outside every stinking day.
Yeah.
We were playing football.
Yeah.
We were playing we played basketball on a milk crate.
Dude. That's
on a milk crate.
that's the real deal right there.
It was a real deal. And I remember David Brown, shout out to David Brown and his family. I remember the day that his dad bought a basketball goal.
An actual
hoop.
Y'all didn't know what to do.
And he welded it to the top of because they had driveways.
Sure.
He welded it to the top of this deal. And we were actually shooting hoops in that thing. And it was like the coolest thing ever. I was young, so I wasn't, that good. And I didn't know what was going on, but all my buddies there. So grew up there, and then parents separate, and then I moved to Austin.
Okay.
And went to Buda, Texas.
Okay.
And lived there, went to elementary, went to middle school there. And that's when the dream of my real dream, which was NBA basketball player. That's where it began.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like sixth grade. I told my sixth grade teacher, I'm going to be in the NBA. And my teacher, you know what she told me? She laughed at me because I was short. I didn't break 100 pounds until my sophomore year in high school.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Like I was little, like 5'3", 5'4". But I mean, you talk about the heart of just an absolute crazy person.
Imagine.
Yeah. Crazy, tenacious, wild. Anyways, so she looked at me and she says, have you not seen, there was a magazine cover that said more people get struck by lightning than go to the NBA.
Ooh.
And I saw that in the sixth grade.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, hey, you can't take my dream away from me,
right. How much time did you spend outside after that? Like, come on.
I was just, I was like, listen, man, this dream is going to keep going. I'm not worried about my bad English teacher in sixth grade. So then what ends up happening is sixth grade tryouts happen.
Okay.
And I've shared the story, but the gist of the story is I call it the net story is I practice all summer. And I practice. I did layups. I'm doing jump shots. I'm doing everything.
Michael Jordan style.
Oh, yes. Posters, know
right.
it. I had all the posters. So get to the tryout. I can't wait. I'm in line, and they had us all lined up at the free throw line. And I'm thinking, If it's layups, I'm gonna get picked.
Yeah.
If it's free throws, I'm definitely gonna get picked because I can shoot free throws. If whatever they're doing, but I don't hear any basketballs bouncing. I don't know what's going on, and it's a long line of kids. So I finally get there, and you got to understand, our gym had a carpet.
Okay.
We had carpet floors.
Wow.
Okay, that's how old I am.
Yeah.
Carpet floors.
Okay.
Okay. You've never played on carpet, Mark. I can tell by your reaction. You played on carpet. You know. See, JC, yeah, you know.
Hey Siri, is what they're talking about actually real?
It's real, bro. It's real. Carpet floors. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was like during that time.
Hey, your mic is live.
You know,
all you gotta do is pull the trigger.
Yeah. During that time, it was that was a thing. Carpet floors. It was a thing. So I'm standing I get to the free throw line, and the coach looks at me and he goes, "Touch the net." And I'm like, okay, I'll touch the net. I run and jump. I didn't even get close, Mark.
Ooh.
I didn't even close. So I didn't get put with the A team. I didn't get put with B team. I got put on Go team.
Really?
Otherwise known as C team.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as
Water boy.
You're not playing.
Yeah.
You're not going to play. Right. And so basically C team was a team where you got pennies, you got a penny, and you played each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was C team.
Okay.
We didn't. There wasn't even another team.
Right
there wasn't even another team to play. So I'm on C team, and I remember. I just remember going. I went home. I was completely dejected. Told my mom. I was like, my coach, and he basically told me. He said, "Yeah, you're just too short. I just wouldn't even play basketball. Go do track or something, or whatever." I go home and tell my mom I'm quitting. I'm not going to play basketball. She's like, "You're not going to quit. You need to go tell your coach you're going to prove him wrong." Oof. Like just straight up, just go tell your coach you can prove it. So I stand there just, and they say, "Hey, my mom told you I got to prove you wrong."
That's right.
That's what my mom said. So I played on C team. After the first couple of games, they realized that I can't be on C team because I was just dribbling up and down and scoring all the points. So they moved me to B, and then from B to A. And then that kind of was like that moment, that shift where in my mind, it was like, okay, if you put in the work and you don't quit,
stay consistent,
there's gonna be opportunities that come up. That was kind of that building block.
Wow.
And so that led to playing basketball in high school, going to college and playing basketball. Played at Wayland Baptist in Plainview, Texas.
Yeah, little bitty
town right outside of way outside of Lubbock, but north of Lubbock. And so went there to play basketball, and all of that was based on that one moment of my mom saying, "You're gonna go tell him you're gonna prove your coach wrong." So after a year there, I got in a really bad car accident and moved back to San Antonio.
Okay.
My dad said, "Hey, come back. I'll pay for your school." So I go to UTSA. And that's when, my life started really kind of shaping. I met this amazing guy named Rafael Linares.
Okay.
Fellow Boricua. My father's from Puerto Rico. You need to know my father's from Puerto Rico. My mom is from Virginia. Okay. So the perfect match, right? Perfect yin and yang. My dad came, just to give brief history with my grandma. They came from Puerto Rico to New York, 3 brothers, all 3 of them. They all came, single mom, moved to New York in the middle of winter with no jackets and 3-piece suits, and started their life in New York.
Wow.
And then that kind of started their life. That doesn't happen. My dad doesn't meet my mom, and I'm not here, right? So all of that. So I get to UTSA. I meet this guy, Rafael Linares, and he starts talking about the Bible. He starts talking about church. And I just was like, I kind of gone to church when I was younger, in middle school and high school, but never when I was younger. My parents didn't go. But I went when I was in high school, and I knew that I needed that in my life. I knew that I needed that structure and everything. And so I was like, yeah, Rafa, that sounds cool. Okay, great, whatever. I was like, but I don't know. I call me. So he kept calling. Next thing I know, I meet him at the campus. I start studying the Bible, and my life changes.
Isn't that amazing?
And get baptized, in my whole world view, everything starts to change. And it was amazing. I'm part of this amazing campus ministry at the time. And during that time, I actually, right before that, had met Christina, my wife.
Okay.
So her and I met at a quinceañera. That's a whole nother story.
Totally separate from being at UT.
Yeah. Well, it was actually 2 weeks before I started college at UTSA, my second year. I met her at a quinceañera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
and so we had kind of started meeting, and then I started going to church, and then so we were friends, and we were talking. And then you fast forward, I get my degree. I'll kind of do the fast forward here. I get my degree in teaching, decide I want to be a teacher, and start teaching. And in the meantime, my wife, Christina, at the time, we met prior, and then we started meeting again. We meet back at church again. We get married. That was, let's see, that would have been 99. So I'll be married 26 years in December.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a big deal. That's a big medal that I love.
It really is.
Yeah.
I just hit 14, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And getting past that 10 and it's just, you don't see it as often.
You look back and you go, we've gone too far. Let's just keep going.
Yeah. Well, my wife says her thing is we renegotiate every year. We got to renegotiate. What are our terms? Yeah. So anyway, so we get married. I start my teaching career, and then we're kind of off to the races building our, careers. And there was a moment in time where my wife gets into new home sales. And that's where this whole, me became Luxury Home Magazine, all of this.
Sure.
It started with her getting involved with the building world.
Okay.
And she got hired at Toll Brothers, and then she started working with McNair.
Okay.
So she knew this world. She was
she
really good
started
at sales.
off in the custom world.
She was in that, not in the very beginning, but she kind of went to there. She went to that direction and got involved with McNair, worked for McNair for a long time. And then that's when we started to see, because I was still in teaching full time. That's when we started to see like, well, maybe there's something that there's a combining of what I've done, because while I was a teacher, I started speaking.
Okay.
I became a speaker and traveled the state of Texas with 40 Farrier, where I was teaching teachers how to really do better in their classes, in the tax test. Motivation, motivating their kids. So I did that for a long time. I actually talk about that in my last podcast, which was really cool. Then, so at one point, my wife says, I think I need a magazine. I need to create a magazine. And I'm like, well, for what? And she's like, well, if I create a magazine, I could advertise my listings and some of the listings that we have, and then we can mail it to people. And I thought, that sounds really expensive and dumb. But, okay, tell me more.
And at that time, there was no Zillow.
No, there was Zillow.
Okay.
Yeah. This would have been 2010.
Okay.
So there was Zillow at that
Zillow
time.
was
This would have been 2009, 2010. So Zillow was around. But in terms of like getting inside of a house mailed, you had flyers, but there was no magazine. There was nothing like that somebody could flip through. And so we were like, that sounds interesting. So we went on a cruise with our son. Enzo was about 18 months at the time. Okay. And during that time, you nap. You remember when you napped your kids, how beautiful that was?
Yeah.
And you would nap with them?
Absolutely.
Oh, if we could go back to the days of napping.
That's right.
So awesome. But we were in the room and we were kind of napping with Enzo. But at one point, Christina, while he had fallen asleep, she's like, I really think we need to figure this magazine thing out because it would really help me sell more houses. And I said, okay, well, let's figure it out. So we get back home, go to local coffee, and we were just like, what are we going to call it? And we typed in Luxury Home Magazine. And lo and behold, it's a franchise.
Available. Oh, wow.
No, it's a franchise.
Already there.
It was already out in existence.
How cool. Okay.
Nationally. So a lot of people don't know that about the publication.
No
Luxury
clue.
Magazine is all over the country. And so at that time, we're of course, both of us are like, it's already somebody already has it. Because any franchise you look at, someone owns.
Yep.
I remember the first time I ate at a corner bakery.
Okay.
And I was like, we got to bring it to San Antonio. It already purchased.
Already done.
And it didn't show up for like another 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's how those work. Anyway, so she, my wife, we type it in Luxury Home Magazine, and there it is, Luxury Home Magazine, and it doesn't exist in San Antonio. Okay. And we were like, yes. So we started doing all the research. We call the guy, get him on the phone, and then it became like this, this conversation. Let's talk about it.
Start dating, yeah.
We start dating. Does San Antonio, does it even support a luxury home?
Yeah.
Now, when I first started talking to agents, a lot of agents said, no, it doesn't in the very beginning.
Really?
They're like, this is not a luxury city.
And at that time, you had probably a handful of agents that were selling that line of product.
Yeah, there's about 40. Yeah, well, about 40.
Two handfuls.
Yeah, two handfuls. Yeah, it was about 40 agents. Now, this is the crazy part. In 2011, when we launched the magazine, there were only $77 million homes that sold.
Wow.
In the whole year.
That's it.
That's it. The whole year.
Wow. And it's just funny to hear.
Which proves their point.
Big
it
time.
wasn't really a luxury market,
really.
right?
Correct.
It really wasn't in the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was right at the cusp of launching that when we only had 77 houses sell for $1 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And most realtors that I hear, and I used to do classes at Sabor and classes at Champions, and one of the first things that they want to aspire to do is become $1 million listing agent.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, guys, there's not enough yet to compete with what you have out there that are already doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, the TV definitely played in that, the reality shows, the $1 million listing.
For sure.
Which, I've met Josh. Josh has come here. He spoke at my real estate summit back in 2014. And I think that kind of plays into that, right?
Sure.
That idea. But what we found is that there was an opportunity to really market luxury listings, even though a lot of them weren't selling. We had them. We had about 150 to 200 on the market, but they weren't selling. It was taking, 2 years. I think the average days on market in 2011, you're looking at, anywhere from 340 to, then I think 1 year was 600. Oh, wow. It was taking a long time for those to sell, right?
But that was the norm.
That was a norm.
That was the norm in that instance or that time frame in our industry.
Yep.
And I think it's pretty cool, especially having had purchased a home that's been in that magazine over and over, et cetera. It's cool for someone that is selling their home to be able to go somewhere. They see your magazine, they pop it open, and sure enough, there's their home that they're trying to sell. And I don't know if they get upset because it's still not sold, but they definitely get that feeling of ownership and you know what I mean? Appreciation for what they've done, what they've built, what they've paid for thus far.
Right. Yeah. And so what we noticed right away is that agents needed a tool that could get in the household so that they could get those listing at bats.
Sure.
So that they could get those opportunities to get more luxury listings.
Right.
And so I remember we kicked it off. I met with, you got to remember, I went from teaching and speaking, to now I'm going to sell to the top agents in San Antonio
with zero real estate experience.
I had no experience in real estate. I had my license. Now, in 2009, I got my license with my wife because basically she became an individual agent and at a point, and so we both got our license together, right? Okay. So I had a license, but I wasn't like really practicing real estate. I was a teacher, and then I was my wife's buyer's agent.
Okay,
so she would send me,
here you go.
Here's a buyer. Go take him, drive him all around the city. And I'm at SeaWorld, showing houses on 151. We realized, during that time that this was probably not going to be our long term, but something was going to come out of it. And that's when the idea of the magazine came out of that, is that we need a tool to sell. My wife got a really, really nice listing, and we put it on the cover of Homes and Land.
Oh, very cool.
And I can't tell you how pumped we were
to
get that. It was a $900,000 listing. Got it on the cover. We paid this really fancy photographer. I want to think we paid him like $600 to get one photo of the front of this house because it was a very unique house. We got this cover, and I think my wife has it somewhere. We got to pull that out at some point.
Frame it.
But we had that cover, and like we thought,
we're the bee's knees.
We are going to get so many phone calls. We're going to have the phone ring off the hook.
That's awesome.
Everyone's going to know who we are. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. We ended up getting like 3 calls. We got 3 calls. It was good. We got another opportunity, for a listing, which is what you want. Sure. But the reality was that wasn't necessarily what sold the house, but it was what put it in front of people that this house is available.
Most definitely.
Right.
Yes.
And that was Homes and Land that didn't even get direct mailed.
No.
I was the first sales rep for Homes and Land.
Were you?
Shut up.
When they came to the market in 2002.
Get out.
My friend bought the franchise here.
Greg?
It was with Comedies.
Really?
And then he sold it to someone.
Wow.
That's so cool.
I was the first rep that, the distribution to get them in HEBs. And
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
that's JC on the mic.
JC.
I forgive me, I did not put his camera on.
That's awesome.
That's how I got a taste in real estate.
I love it. It's a great way to learn the system. It's a great way to learn the business.
Yeah, most definitely.
And so unfortunately, Homes and Land went out of business. I think it closed like 5 or 6 years ago. The one here in San Antonio, which I was bummed because there's now a gapping hole missing for stuff below $1 million.
Sure.
Things in that lower than $1 million, because typically everything in my magazine is $1 million and up.
Correct.
But anyway, so it's a national publication. We bring it to San Antonio, and in the beginning, agents were just like, I don't know how this is going to work, but we got the first one going, and then from there, it just took off.
Wow.
It really it was a lot of hard work.
Oh, I'm sure.
Reinvesting of your money, like constantly. We were throwing
big
parties.
risk.
big risk.
Absolutely.
Every issue we had a cover party.
Wow.
And those cover parties were like everybody wanted to be
So
at a
you
cover
were just
party.
pouring into
Everything was pouring back into the business.
Now,
Everything
let me
was pouring
ask
back
you,
in. Yeah.
did you have investors at the time, or were you investing your own funds and taking that risk and going, okay, I hope this pans out or I'm donezo? And I speak from experience. I've been CEO of 2 separate tech companies that one, all my money, the next, half my money. And then it was like, okay, Mama said you need to find some investors.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting story. My dad, he's going to hear this podcast, and again, I'm excited to share this from two aspects of it. Number one, I went to my dad in the very beginning because I was scared. I gotta be honest. I was scared out of my mind. Here I am a teacher, and I'm gonna go start a luxury real estate publication.
Right.
And I'm a realtor, but I don't really know the real estate world like these agents do, right? I understand marketing. I understand it to a degree at that point, but I'm like, I remember sitting down with my dad. I go, Dad, do you want to invest in this? Like, I need some money.
Yeah.
And we had talked to other people about it, and everybody was like, they were kind of hesitant. And I remember my dad going, you know what? He goes, the best thing that you're going to do is, he goes, you need to go do it on your own. And I was like, I remember this feeling of like,
Brother, I'm right there with you.
you know that feeling.
Well, same situation.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to do it on your own. My dad, he's like, you need to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And that turned into what we are and where we are today. So damn it, Dad. But at the same time, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and part of that is the part about it is interesting is that I was a Dave Ramsey guy. Okay, like hardcore.
Okay.
All right, like I'm talking
your
like
heart.
I'm talking like no credit cards.
None.
I didn't have any credit cards.
Wow.
I had no debt other than my mortgage. I had all my cars were paid. We were like I mean we had even did the envelopes at one point, like
wow.
cash and envelopes.
Okay.
Like that's how hardcore we were.
Wow.
Okay, so at that
point, you had not really felt the idea of leverage to gain.
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. Like and even to a point after starting the magazine, I had some really dear friends, Brad, who sold me my franchise here, who was the owner of all of them.
Okay.
I mean, even to the point where he'd make fun of me. He's like, no, did Dave Ramsey tell you to do that? Like, I mean, it was a thing.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So here I'm a Dave Ramsey guy. And I remember this distinctly. My dad's like, he goes, just take a loan out on your cars. Both my cars were paid. And I remember like that feeling of like, I'm going to have to not only leverage everything that I have in my bank, which give it all that up. Now I'm going to leverage my cars.
That's right.
And take the
Put
money
notes
out
on them.
and put notes on my cars. And I went home and I told I remember telling my wife, I was like, okay, I think we're going to have to take notes out on our cars. And, the Dave Ramsey thing, we're probably just going to have to like,
Let's put that under the table.
we're just going to have to like, just pause that for a second, you know? And we did it. I called USAA. I couldn't believe I had a Toyota Highlander. They gave me like $15,000 for my Toyota Highlander, which was paid off at the time. And it was used and it had 160,000 miles.
Sure.
And I'm taking a $15,000 loan on this car. And then I had my wife had a BMW X5 and we took out a loan on that car. And I just remember sitting there going, okay, here we go. There's 25,000 more plus what we're putting, and now we're all in. I pushed all the chips in.
That's right.
And it was a moment of just like sheer of like, this is wild. And we're going in debt to start this business.
That's right.
And so then fast forward, I remember there was a moment of like, I'm calling these agents and I'm literally banging the phones, calling because we're trying to launch it.
Absolutely.
I'm
You're a
getting
startup.
meetings. I'm a startup,
That's right.
know, I'm meeting with all the top agents. I'm getting in the door with them. I'm sitting down with them and no became my vitamins.
Wow.
Like no was like a vitamin
Go
to
for
me.
the no, baby. That's right.
I just need you to tell me no, so I'll stop bugging you. Just tell me no, you know? And I'm banging the phones, I'm calling. And there came a point where, we get that first magazine printed and we get it. It's 32 pages. Okay. And we got it to the finish line. I remember it took forever to get it. They delivered it to my house. in an 18-wheeler.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Imagine that.
Oh,
An
yeah.
18-wheeler pulls up. It's pulling
All
down the
these
pallets.
mags.
I have 4 pallets of magazines in my garage now.
Holy
Now,
cow.
the mail went to the mailing, and
Yeah.
that was separate. But I had these pallets of all the boxes of all my magazines. And I remember opening up the first magazine, and I just cried. It was the most emotional,
I know
surreal
that feeling.
feeling
Yep.
ever, you know? And I'm looking through each one, and I'm like, well, now I got to deliver them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to get these out. And so get them all out,
Yeah.
and then I got to sell the next issue.
That's right.
Right? But right as I was about to sell the next issue, I remember there's that moment in time where I'm going like, because you don't make any money. The first magazine doesn't make any
the
money.
moment is, am I in over my head?
Yeah.
Am I, are my skis out front of me? Or are they back there? I mean, I know that feeling. And you
Yeah.
mentioned that the idea of having that fear.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, being a business owner, running some startup companies, if you don't have that fear, it's probably not worth doing, in
yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, it's not big enough. Maybe you didn't reach far enough, risk more.
Yeah.
Maybe your message, whatever it is that you're trying to get across to sell,
Yeah.
maybe it's not big enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But in your case, it was, because you got that, woo, here we
Yeah.
go.
Well, and then the other thing what it made me think about is, you know, that and just going along what you're saying is that when you hit that wall, there's a wall that every entrepreneur hits.
Absolutely.
And you may hit 10. You may hit 100 walls. You may hit one every morning when you get up, and you're like, you're going to hit but when you hit that wall, there's a moment of you go, okay, I could quit and I could just go get a job.
Yep.
Right? Okay, I know that I could get hired and I could go teach and I can go do whatever. You know, at that point I had my master's degree.
Okay.
So it's like I could go back to what I was doing before. But I remember there's a moment I thought about my dad, because there was that moment where I wanted to quit.
Mm-hmm.
There's been several. And I go, it's all my money.
Yeah.
I can't quit.
Mm.
Like I've put everything in.
Yeah.
If it were other people's money and I had a cushion,
Sure.
I don't think I would have pushed as hard. I don't think I would have had the desire to get to making money as quickly as we did.
Sure.
Right? The motivation, because it's all us. I'm like, I can't let this fail. There's no way this could fail.
right.
You know, I can't let it fail. And so all of that really created the daily motivation to keep banging the phone, to keep calling, to keep doing the parties, to keep moving forward. This is going to work. It's going to be successful. And by issue 3, we're profitable.
Wow.
You know, so by issue 3, now we're making money. And by that point, I could hire my wife and get her on.
Tomas,
with
that's
me.
impressive.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful business model.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would imagine that they had already created this concept of this is our margins. This is what we do. You got to get it to X amount of people, but you got to do it again next month and the next month.
You got to keep it going.
Right.
Yeah. And the other piece to that is you got to get people to commit long term to your magazine.
Yeah.
Like the reason why most magazines don't succeed is they sell one issue and that's it.
That's right.
Just give it one issue. No. You can't build a business or reputation off of just one ad one time. You got to commit to a longer term. And so in the beginning, that's what I sold. I sold all one year-long agreements.
Absolutely.
Now I sell 2-year agreements. Now I have a guy on 3-year agreements.
Beautiful.
So that was the model, and that's what really got us to that next level. But it was, I can't fail. This is all my money. Oh, and by the way, I have like a 1-year-old, or at the time he was 2.
Oh, wow.
He's like a 2.5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can't fail with a 2-year-old at home, and every day you run it home and daddy, you know,
In
it's like,
between, yes.
It's like motivation. And now that my wife was on board, she was able to up level me, because I'm a solo cup guy. Like I'm a red solo cup guy. I'm not fancy.
Right.
My wife is crystals, glass, you know, Tiffany boxes. Like she's
Highlander,
got the vision.
BMW.
Yeah, she's got the vision. Exactly. She's got the vision. Whereas I just was like, okay, let's be effective, but let's make it happen and execute. She sees the finer details, which is what I needed to now really expand.
Yeah.
And so, so that's how we got it off the ground. Started Austin that was in 2011. We started San Antonio. And then in 2013, I start Austin Luxury Home Magazine.
Beautiful.
And let me tell you,
Different market. Different market.
It's like traveling during that time. This would have been 2013. It was like going in a spacesuit, going to another universe,
Wow.
trying to sell something.
Oh, I can imagine.
That's how difficult Austin was.
Wow.
It was so much harder than San
because
Antonio.
you've got your in crowds of that luxury 40 agents or so that are tight knit. Who is this other agent that comes in? I can imagine not only is it the same in Austin, it's almost
It's
double.
harder. It's harder.
Almost double.
It's harder. And plus at that time there were a lot of magazines. There were a lot of options, you know, so we were competing with other publications. And then new publications popped up right after we started because people saw that there was an opportunity there. Because Austin, just to give people an understanding, year to date, Austin has sold $2,500 million homes. Okay. Any guess on San Antonio?
Oh gosh, I would have to see.
Year to date. What if San Antonio? I'm gonna put Mark on the spot here.
I'm gonna say,
and JC, you get to vote too.
I'm gonna say 150.
Okay, $150 million homes so far this year.
I'm going 92.
92. Okay, this year we've sold $656 million homes.
Way better.
Way better. Wow. Right? Yeah.
Now, mind you, is this also because we've had massive growth in our property equities?
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah. But we've been selling over 500 since before COVID. I mean, we've been
That's a consistent.
It's been consistent. You know, every year it's gone up. This year it's going to eclipse even the COVID year, which is rare for us. Whereas Austin right now is flat. Austin's luxury is flat. It's not growing. Where our luxury is up around 13 to 16% this year over year.
Now, let me ask you. You being so entrenched in this, and I know you know your stuff, what do you think the reason for that is? I've got my beliefs or
why there's so many $1 million homes that are selling?
Correct.
So two things. Number one, where more people are coming here, that $1 million house is like not a big deal.
That's where I was going.
Right?
With it. Yep.
$1 million house is like $1 million. Yeah. And I get the land too.
Correct.
Right?
That's
like you're going to give me 14 acres.
Yes.
So people freak out when they see our value in comparison with the land.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's one. Number two, appreciation. Every realtor, if you're listening to this in the car, right? You have this on Apple, right?
Absolutely.
If you're listening to this in the car, you've walked into a KB house that's $1 million and you're like, how is this $1 million house?
That's right. Yeah.
Every agent has experienced that.
That's right.
You know, and you're like, well, it's location and it's the size of the home and it's $1 million house.
That's
you know,
right.
so our appreciation is another factor to that. Plus, what I also think is, I think San Antonio has been very conservative. This would probably be the third little. San Antonio has been very conservative. We have a lot of business owners that do really well here.
That's right. On the down low.
And they've
never
all
know.
You don't know.
That's right.
And they're all been very, you know, they've been subtle, but they get that they start getting to that point where they're like, okay, now I want to buy the big boy house.
Yeah.
But they're not too flashy. They don't want to go for the $8 million one that Bincon has in Dominion right now. They're thinking maybe 2 or 3, right? And so that 2 or 3 market, even though we've only had 11 houses over, I think it's what was it? Goodness. I have the statistics.
Over what?
I think
3
it's
million
once you get to 3 million, I think we've had 9 houses sell over 3 million to 3.999, and then I think it's 51 from 2 million to 2.999. I think it's 50 houses.
Wow.
In that little band, it's 50.
Wow.
But once you get above that, we've only had 20 houses that have sold above 3 million.
Wow.
Okay, so that's where you start to see the even bigger difference between Austin and San Antonio, because those numbers jump dramatically.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But all that to say is, I think what's happened is that a business owner is like, I'm ready to make the jump, and they're going for a bigger house.
Oh, for sure.
Now, mind you, all my statistics are MLS.
Okay.
I don't have builder.
Yep.
I don't have
Off the books
stuff. The non-MLS stuff that sells,
and they're still
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's in every market. Austin's the same way.
Sure.
So that you've got, so now our market can handle. I mean, there was $900 million houses on the market in San Antonio.
Wow.
Think about that.
That's quite a bit.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
When I
that's quite a
started,
bit.
we were in the 200s.
Oh, I can imagine that.
So
Wow.
15 years later, we're at, $900 million houses.
Appreciation, and you've got the concept of, and I hate to say this because I'm not against it.
Yeah.
The wealthy get wealthier in times like this.
Sure.
Opportunity comes up. We tend to capitalize or are able to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And now what do we do with the money?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And real estate is one of those. And I'll tell you, I know that, Florida's talking about, getting rid of property taxes for your primary house.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I can't imagine. I
If
dream
that
about it every night.
happens, if that happens, I mean, now the $1 million house doesn't seem so crazy, right?
No.
Now the $4 million house doesn't seem so crazy, right?
Absolutely.
But it's only on your primary residence is what I'm hearing that they're talking about,
Hey,
right?
I'll take 30 grand a year off any year.
Yeah. And it'd be incredible.
Absolutely.
It'd be incredible. So that's part of it. But I think to me, the one thing that really worked and the reason why we were able to have the success in San Antonio is the events was one. And number two, just really taking care of the clients.
Yeah.
Like doing what we say we do.
Sure.
We direct mail 17,000 magazines.
Wow.
I mail 17,000 plus magazines in San Antonio every single issue.
Wow.
It cost me a lot of
I'm
money.
sure.
My book is over £1. It weighs over £1.
Wow.
So it's very expensive to mail a magazine, okay? Then we print 24,000 copies in San Antonio,
Okay.
right? So the other 7,000 are hand distributed all over the city. We're at HEBs
Yeah.
and,
Title companies, et cetera.
in terms of distribution, we're putting it where people can see it. And same thing in Austin. I print 20,000 in Austin, 15,000 are direct mail to the most affluent houses.
Sure.
And we base that, it's a forced mail. You don't have to subscribe.
Nope.
We base
You're
that
gonna get
off
it.
of your property values and we send it to you.
Oh, I get it every month.
Yep. Of course you
It's
do.
like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, of course you do.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
of course. So, now, at what point within your journey, you had the magazine rolling? It still requires, I'm sure, plenty of your time. You've got your wife that's helping you out in this instance. When did you make the transition to the motivational speaking, the engagements that you're doing? And I'm seeing them all over the place. One day, when I grow up, I want to be like you type concept, you know? And people will come to me and they'll say, well, you've got the podcast, you've crushed it in mortgage, you've got these companies. Why aren't you a motivational speaker?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there yet, in my opinion. I have not done enough thus far that I'm on autopilot.
Yeah.
I'm still working to make the next jump in where we want to be in life, to be honest.
Right.
What was your indicator?
Well, because I was a teacher, I think there's a natural progression to teach realtors, right? Or to teach whoever's in front of you.
No, you're 100% correct. That is the one thing that a lender and lenders out there listening, you want to gain more realtor relationships, teach them something, give them value, something they can use to make more money, to help their family, et cetera.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah. And so that was one facet of it. And then I remember at one point when I got into the space, the CE credits were like a big deal. People were all like, well, can you do CE credits? Because I was teaching classes when I started Luxury Magazine. I started teaching realtors and I was like, well, I'll get the CE. So I did the CE thing and it was a pain in the butt, but I did it. And it worked. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but I don't want that to be my main focus of teaching, right? To do the CE credits. But here's the thing, right? I got in 2014. I remember like vividly, I ran into a client and he's like, yeah, I'm on my way to John Maxwell. I'm going to be my John Maxwell coach.
Oh.
And at that time I was like, what do you mean you're a John Maxwell coach? Like I was a John Maxwell, like I read all his books.
Yeah, same here.
All of them. And I mean, what do you mean you're going to be a John Maxwell coach? What does that even mean?
Right.
I'd never heard of this concept. And he goes, well, I'm going to go and you get certified and you become a coach and they teach you how to coach. They teach you how to speak and they teach you how, do these things. And I said, well, I know how to speak. I've been doing that. I said, but I don't know about coaching and I don't know about this masterminds and then it was the training.
Okay.
And so I literally, my wife and I were standing there with the gentleman and I go home and I go, what do you think? And she's like, you're going to go. Now this is 2014. We'd only had the magazine at that point 3 years, right? So we're 3 years in, and you're trying to like make everything work, and you're trying to make it's not like we're making a killing.
No.
But we're making enough to where it's like, okay, this is a sizable investment.
Sure.
And I remember they called me. So that was a Thursday. They called me on a Friday. The event was the next Monday.
Oh, wow. Zero time to think, get ready.
Right?
Wife says we're going.
Wife says you're going to go.
That's right.
And I'm like, so I'm talking with this person and I'm like, okay, what's the investment? And they say it. And I'm just like, I don't even like, so I said, she goes, well, if you do it now, it's going to be this, right? They do the whole, like if you do now, it's going to be this. Oh, and you get this, you know. And so I said, I have to call my wife. It's a sizable. I mean, it was like almost 10 grand, right? And I call her and I said, I'm freaking out right now. And I said, I just need you to tell me if this is crazy or not. And I said, it's very expensive. And she goes, it doesn't matter. You're going to do it. And I was like, you don't even know the price yet. Like, what are you talking about?
I love it.
Like, Christina. I said, it's 10. She goes, but cut me out. She goes, it doesn't matter. She goes, you need to do this.
Yeah.
You're going. So call them back and hurry up so you don't lose your spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I call back that weekend. I'm on a flight. I'm there. I'm in front of John Maxwell. And here's the thing. I don't necessarily think of myself as a motivational speaker because I think this will help you if you would allow me to speak into you a little bit.
Please.
I don't think of myself as a motivational speaker. I think of myself as a teacher that's got some content and some things that I've learned in this life, right? Things that things in what I call my toolbox.
Okay.
And I have all of this stuff in my journal, but all these things that have been I've collected over time in nuggets, wisdom, books. I see all your books here, things, what I call battle scars that you've had, right? All of those lessons have led you up to this very moment.
That's right.
And you can share that in a way that is motivating, but doesn't mean you're necessarily a motivational speaker.
I see.
You follow me?
Absolutely. It's the presentation, how you're
the
packaging it up.
presentation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I call them landmines because the idea is I've gone through many landmines. My goal is to keep you from stepping on the same ones I have.
Love it.
But there, in many cases, you have to step on that landmine because it needs to hurt.
It needs to hurt. I love it. You know? And so just that story of you could create a class called, you know, I've stepped on some landmines and so should you. And that's your class.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
I've stepped on some landmines and so should you. Right?
And Claude, remember that.
And literally the whole class is about, I'm going to tell you my top 5 landmines and what I learned from each one of them. That's your class. It's motivational.
Oh, for sure.
Right? But it's also educational, which is really, I want to educate you because what I don't want is I don't want people to come see me speak and walk away feeling motivated, but then the next day they don't know why and they don't do anything. I want them to come in and sit with me and be educated and then walk out and go, well, Tomas says I got to do that. I got to do that. And then go do it. You know, that's the difference, I think, between motivational speaking and teaching. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And so you could do that tomorrow. You could do that today because you've already got the stories. You've already got the knowledge base. And the cool part is you've run businesses, you've run people. And so now you've got the systems because really what realtors need, they need systems.
Correct. They don't
realize
most of the time that they are running their own business.
They're business owners.
That's right.
They're entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And a lot of them don't know it.
Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. JC, where are we at on time? I love this. Say it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Got about 15 more minutes.
Cool.
Let's talk about some current event stuff. And what I want to do is start with the idea of where you think the magazine is going to go as the future continues to do what it does.
Yep.
Without saying the obvious.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. As far as those, so, you know, you look at the magazine, I think that people, no matter what, still want to touch and feel and open something.
Yes.
Like when you get your magazine, you look through it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So I don't know if that's necessarily going to go away. And then one of the main reasons is Restoration Hardware.
Okay.
Okay. You know that store.
Absolutely.
They send out a catalog this thick. We get it. Right? I don't know why they keep sending it to us. We haven't bought anything in a while.
Years.
Okay? Like a year. But they keep sending us this thing. This thing has to weigh about 2.5 pounds. And it's this thick catalog of all their stuff. Why are they still printing that?
Because paper's cheap.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
They can get it in front of a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it's that the feeling that someone gets when they're going through it.
Yes.
That feeling of renewal, that feeling of opportunity, potential.
Yep.
What could we do? Goal setting. I'd like to do this. And this almost the same idea of the magazine that you have. It's sexy.
Yep.
It sells.
It sells.
You know, people want, whether you are living in a luxury home currently or aspiring to live in a luxury home, or even hating on people that live in luxury homes.
You're still gonna look.
You're still gonna look.
You're still gonna look.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
So I look at it like from a perspective of I don't see that changing. Now, does something evolve with mail that we don't know of? I don't know. I don't know if mail really changes.
I don't think it can.
I don't think it can.
That's right.
So like mail can't change, and if mail can't change, then this avenue is going to be a long time for this changes, right?
Yeah.
So then you go, okay, so that kind of plays us out maybe 5-10 years, right? So that's the aspect of it, because this is a male determinant type business. Now, the evolution of this, a lot of magazines, what they started doing is they realized the expense of mail. And so a lot of magazines just said, we're not going to mail anymore, right? But that's the whole bread and butter of what I do. Because if you truly want to get aspirational, the best place to do it is on their coffee table.
Yes.
I need to be on their coffee table.
Right.
I need to be in their mailbox every issue 6 times a year.
That's right.
I need them pulling it out and going, do you see this?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Look at this $8 million house that's on the cover. I got a house that's going to be on the next cover. It is absolute. People are going to go, where is that house? They're going to freak out.
Awesome.
The house is completely surrounded by water. It's on a peninsula.
Holy cow.
It is the coolest photo
And
of
this
a house.
is San Antonio?
This is going to be on the cover of San Antonio.
Wow. How cool.
People are going to be like, where is this house and how much is it?
Yes. And then they're going to say who owns it.
And who, like, how, like,
Wow.
At one point, we're looking at the photo, and the photo has a garage that's in the water. So I want you to imagine garage doors, and they're going down. That part of the house goes down into, it has a garage for your boat.
Wow. Wow.
Now in Austin, that's kind of like, that's
No
the
big
thing.
deal. No big deal.
Everybody knows about that.
Absolutely.
Brother, nobody in San Antonio, like, you got a garage for 3 boats and jet skis and like,
Wow.
So all that to say is, I think the aspirational aspect of, I don't think much of that changes. Now, how do we evolve as a company?
Sure.
Well, we are evolving as a training company. We're going to become not only just this aspirational publication of where people can go to see luxury.
Correct.
We're going to start teaching agents aspirationally, how can you start selling
How
this
to
too?
become that.
How do you get to this level to sell luxury homes? Now, can everybody be a luxury agent? No, but people can aspire to that and start learning some of these techniques.
Most definitely.
They can start learning. We call it the distinctive agent lab.
Okay.
And so in this distinctive agent lab, we're going to teach people how to leverage, amplify, and build.
Beautiful.
Right? How do you leverage your business? How do you amplify it? How do you get your message in front of people? How do you build your business? How do you scale?
Sure.
Well, a lot of realtors don't know how to scale.
You're exactly correct.
You know, so that's going to be the evolution of where we're going. We're going to be doing more events. We're going to have the Luxury Real Estate Summit in February 2026, possibly the end of February, March. We're just finalizing the date this week, but that will be at the JW Marriott. We had it last year. We had over 530 agents that came to that event.
Wow.
Don't miss it.
Wow.
It's going to be an amazing event. And it was this year. It's going to be another amazing one next year. So the evolution of where we're going is teaching, training, and using all the skill sets that I've had with everything that I've done and with all the agents that I've worked with. And now let's take it over and help agents so they can aspire to that.
Leverage even bigger, add more value.
Add more value.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. Wow. And there's many out there that think, the magazines, that paper stuff, it's just, I don't even use it. But then when we're bringing it back to the idea and concept of luxury homes, that goes out the window.
Yeah, yep.
It truly does.
Yep.
It's impressive.
What's a niche? And this is what people need to understand is that there are riches and niches. We all know that, right? But when you have a niche of luxury real estate, everybody wants to look at those houses.
Yeah.
I don't care who they are.
You're correct.
They not only do they want to look at them, they're like, can we go walk in them?
Yeah. How do I gain access?
And how do we get that? Well, this year we did the Dominion luxury tour. We had 6 houses there with some of the builders, Burdick, Lifestyle by Stadler, Jim Bowles. We also had who else was it? We had 2 houses with Roberto Kenningstein. I mean, people were walking through and seeing these houses. You don't get a chance to see those houses.
You are correct.
It's very rare.
As a matter of fact, I used to throw an event. We did it for a full year, and it was tacos and mimosas. And
Okay.
we would have luxury homes that we would gain access to, and we'd get them on a big tour bus and take the realtors around. They were packed every single time.
Yep.
And it's because for that reason.
Yeah.
normal agent, your typical agent does not get the opportunity to even set foot in that because they don't have a client that you go to see that home.
Right.
And most homes like that, by appointment only, most of the time.
Or funds. You got to have the funds.
Show me the funds, or the listing agent's going to show up.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Which that's impressive, but what it takes to sell those types of homes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get one opportunity to sell $8 million, $4 million. That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
For your layman.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's impressive.
For sure. So,
Very
and
impressive.
part of that evolution too is getting back to that whole evolution of Luxury Home Magazine. Is the magazine is, I think, is always going to be what it is. It is a tool for agents and businesses. Like, think about right now, if you wanted to get in front of 17,000 of the wealthiest people in San Antonio, what would it take to get in front of the 17,000 of the wealthiest people? Because remember, on Facebook, you can't do that.
Oh no.
You
They're
can't.
probably not there.
Well, and they're not there, right? But you can't target based on
Correct.
wealth or any of that. So how can you do it in San Antonio? It's Luxury Home Magazine.
right.
It's the only way that you can get in front of that type of client.
That's right.
And so the evolution of that also is now training. We're going to do 4 workshops next year that we're going to be helping not only businesses but people understand brand. You know, today I'm a big Grant Cardone, and on the class today I'm on Cardone University. My whole team is on Cardone University.
Okay.
We learn every single day, and we're learning the process of sales every single
That's awesome.
day. And today was branding is more important than marketing.
Oh, I have to agree with that.
Branding,
Become a household name.
they need you. They need to know who you are.
Absolutely.
If they don't know you, they can't flow you.
Well, and it's the same concept of what old timers used to say. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
Not
no.
in today's world.
Nope.
They have to know about it.
Yeah, yeah, and so all that to say is that's kind of the evolution of where we're going, and training company, coaching company, giving people the ability to access that world, to understand how to be a part of that world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Well, Tomas, I mean, this has been a great conversation. I've learned a whole lot about you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you would like to tell our listeners about you, the future, and what you're doing, which you've already told us quite a bit?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what is one thing that, besides the family, because we know that that's the ultimate motivator, and I believe in doing things through Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah.
He uses me. I know he uses you.
100%.
Besides those two factors, what is something that motivates you nonstop? Because, and I'll preface with, I don't care how successful someone is or much they say they are motivated, like myself, there's still something that continues to motivate me to push forward to the next venture, the next failure, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one thing that motivates me is you got to marry well. Who you marry matters.
Yeah.
And I have a whole class on this on my YouTube. Who you marry matters. Because if you marry the right person, they're going to be a motivating factor so that you grow.
Yes.
They're going to be a motivating factor. Like, hey, you're going to go take that John Maxwell
right.
class, and you're going
That's
to pay
right.
the 10 grand. And well, where's it? It doesn't matter. We're going to figure it. We'll find the money. Don't worry about it. So you need so my wife is a massive motivating factor. We leave on Saturday, and we're going to be on the Ritz-Carlton cruise line.
Very cool.
And this is we're cruisers. We love to cruise. I mean, we've been on a lot of cruises, but this is not cruising. This is yachting. This is a whole different level. And we're going to be on the boat with Grant Cardone. And this is a mastermind cruise. Last year I was on it. There were 3 billionaires that were on the cruise. Wow. Okay. And so the motivating factor for me is that you've got to get around people that are doing things way bigger than you. So when you start getting around people that are doing things at a bigger level, listen, your dreams get way bigger.
Yes, that is very true.
Right?
Happened
Your
to
dreams
me.
get
You're right.
way bigger. And I mean, my dream at one point was like, it's funny that I don't think I've ever shared this. My dream was I wanted to live by a golf course. Okay. I just wanted to live by a golf course. And I didn't even make the dream to live on the golf course. Okay. My dream was so weak.
I just want to be close by.
I just want to live by a golf course. You know what I mean? It's like, that's so general and vague and weak. You know, it's like, Tomas, come on, dream bigger than that. But that was my dream. I wanted to live by a golf course, right? That was kind of the dream and the motivating thing. And then I remember my son gets in the golf, and then we would start talking about, well, maybe we need to join a golf club, right? Maybe we need to join and be a part of like a golf club. And that to me was so foreign. I didn't grow up playing golf. I didn't start playing golf really and truly till I was probably 30 or 40, right? Okay. I'm 50. I just turned 50 in September. And here's the thing. I literally was just like, I want to be by a golf course. Well, I didn't do it. And then we started talking about this membership. And then we pulled the trigger during COVID, and we're like, okay, we became members of a golf club. And I can't tell you how weird that felt for like 2 years.
Really?
I didn't even tell anybody I was a member at a golf. I didn't even, because it was so big. It was so outside of my world, And so became a member at TPC, and I'm golfing there all the time. And I'm really not telling you, I'm not talking to any about it, right? And then as we're there, I told my wife, I was like, we probably should move. And then we end up moving, and we sold our house in Stone Oak, and we moved across right by TPC.
Okay.
And I can see where my house is from the golf course now.
That's awesome.
Right. And so the thing is like, I think the one motivating factor I tell people is like, sometimes your dream, like you'll have those dreams. And like, for me, I wasn't a big goal writer. Okay. And I've shared this with people. I wasn't really a big goal, like write goals down.
Sure.
That wasn't my thing, because I'll tell you why, because I knew I had to do the work to go get it.
That's right.
So I didn't want to write down my goals.
You didn't want to set the expectation that you could fail against.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't want to fail.
Yeah,
right. And because I was like, well, so then as you start going to more workshops, as you start, you see, I've been to Business Mastery with Tony Robbins. Yeah. I've been to John Maxwell 4 times. I've been to all these workshops with Grant Cardone. I've been on this cruise, and you start getting around people, and you start realizing, Grant Cardone's jet that he owns. The helicopter he owns, all of those were dreams that he wrote down when he was broke and didn't have anything, when he had nothing.
Yeah.
And he would write down these visions, and he would say, okay, I'm going to have the G5 or the G whatever, the global. I'm going to have, and he kept talking about it, and he played this game. And so this is the game. If you had when you're out, down on your luck, this is what Elena Cardone would make Grant play. You have $1 billion. What are you going to do with the money? And that's when they were down on, like, things were hard, right. When the car business went to everything, and because they did all their business based off coaching the car business. That's how Grant Cardone got started. She's like, okay, Grant, I want you to spend $1 billion. What are you going to buy with $1 billion? And this was an exercise that they would play. And so one of the things that motivates my wife and I is not stuff. It's not the stuff. It is the exercise of going, I need to think bigger than just, I want to be by the golf course.
Yeah.
I need anything bigger than that. Right?
Absolutely.
To where now I'm a member at a golf course. Oh, and by the way, I live by one.
Yes.
But I went the long way to get there because I just didn't want to write it down. So what if I had written it down sooner?
Wow. Who knows, right? Like, I mean, it could be way different, right? It could, that vision could be I could be further along in the journey. That's an incredible practice of going, and it's going through the motions right now, then putting yourself in a position to go through the game time situations to get there. You know? And that's an incredible practice. I would probably start incorporating that personally. Because for me, similar to you, I did not dream big enough until I started meeting people that became a part of my circle that were doing way much older than I, but at the same time, if he can do it, I can do it. Type concept. And if he can talk about it, I can listen.
100%.
Okay. So I became that sponge. And the idea was, let's get in different rooms. Let's get in different circles. And that's how I'm going to shape who I'm going to be moving forward. And now we're here.
And the other piece to this, to that motivation, right? So the piece is who you marry matters. You need to make sure that you've got somebody that's motivating you, right? That's pushing you. And then the other piece to that is get in a Bible study.
Oh, most definitely. I'm in a weekly one with a bunch of gentlemen.
Are you doing the Every Man a Warrior?
No. This is a Bible study we do every week. Matter of fact, we had it this morning. A couple of guys from high school that,
nice.
Charlie Kirk situation happened. We got together and said, hey, man, time to stop being quiet about
Yeah.
it. Let's do our weekly thing.
Yeah.
And let's invite other men that are great. We're not doing it for show. We don't publicize it or anything like that, but definitely I recommend that as well.
Well, yeah, I can tell you, I got Gilly. Shout out to Gilly Mendoza. He invited me to Every Man a Warrior, and I thought it was like a hey, we're going to get together for like a week. No, it's like a 30-week process, and it is. I'm telling you, I'm serious when I say this. Like when you get in a group of guys and you're studying the word like that, it's motivating.
Absolutely.
Because no matter where everybody's at, everybody's having some wins. Some people may be in some losses, but everybody's having some wins, and you get to share in that, and you get to be together, and you get to read. So I just find a Bible study, and I'm going to be doing one when I finish mine.
Sure.
I'm going to be launching my Every Man a Warrior, and
let me
buckle
know.
up,
Yes.
because let me tell you, it's been incredible.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, Tomas, this has been a great discussion, probably one of the top that I've had recently. No offense to those before, but we were talking about real estate and stuff like that. This is a little different. For those of you listening out there, if you do want to get in touch with Tomas, let's throw this up on the screen real quick, JC. This is the website that he has that you can find his bookings, videos, podcasts. His podcast is top notch, has different conversations with individuals, by all means, all walks of life. Let me see here. Here's the luxury magazine where you see all of the beautiful things and sexiness, that goes on in San Antonio. And finally, guys, thanks for joining and subscribing. We're now at 30,600 subscribers and rising. Don't know how. Yes, I do. We're consistent. We bring on guests like yourself, and we're continuing to do that. So Tomas, I want to thank you again for giving me all of this great stuff and allowing me to kind of pry into your life and your story today, man.
Thank you.
I really
It's a lot of fun.
appreciate it. Yeah. Those of you out there, we appreciate you. My commitment to you is to continue to bring you guests just like this so that we can be transparent. And give you guys some nuggets out there. Hopefully you can take some of this stuff to the bank and cash it. Until the next one, check you later.
Are you getting better every single day? That's the question, right? And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. The streets right to your animal bags.
If you're still sending out pre-approval letters and praying your realtor send you the next lead, you're already behind.
Top producers are winning because they're giving their agents more than just rate sheets and donuts. They're giving them LoanBot. With LoanBot, you can offer realtors a white-labeled, co-branded digital mortgage tool that they send straight to their buyers. It's like giving them a mini loan officer in their pocket. Available 24/7, fully loaded, and branded with your name and their trust. Buyers can self-diagnose, compare loan programs, check real numbers, search properties, and explore down payment assistance without blowing you up at 10 p.m. And the best part? You see everything, every scenario, every lead, every milestone. You're looped in the whole way. LoanBot isn't a widget. It's the referral machine you've been waiting for. Here's the deal. Your realtors can get it from us directly for $9.99 a month. But it'd be in your best interest if they got it from you. Either way, they're going to get it. White labeled, co-branded, transparent, and more.
Sign up for your demo with our team of innovators.